Nice. Okay, got a thumbs up. That means everybody's working. Everything's welcome to ECLIPSE Protocol, which is the first time I've ever said that. I took a little bit of break from this over the holidays and spent some time thinking about what I wanted to do with the show and with the story and kind of how I wanted things to go. And I decided that I like the idea of continuing this game in this universe and not necessarily stop just when this particular story ends, as like part of writing it in Substack, which by the way I should probably drop the link for that. I don't have that as a chat command because Allie does those. Oh, whoops. There we go. Maybe one day I'll get it together. Anyway, the point is, so this, instead of being Star Tripper, this story is ECLIPSE Protocol, and when I finish this one, whatever the next one will be, will get like its own name. That's all in Beta Proxima, and it's all fun and shiny and new. So yeah, I updated the art and did all of the things to kind of reflect that, and now we're back. Not from outer space, like the song says, but to outer space. There's the Substack link. I just posted the second chapter. Also, next to me in the shadows, he's not actually in the shadows, is my husband today, because he and I have been having an absolutely fantastic time going over all these little details and stuff as far as like writing the story for the novelization. So he is like next to me taking notes and didn't want to be on stream, and that's totally fine. So I have like kind of an Emperor Palpatine situation happening over here. Okay, so it's been a while, right? Story so far. We were following Cassie, is our main character. Gronk says, hello, awesome shadow husband. We're following Cassie, our main character, who was just living her best life as a life support systems engineer on a small research outpost on sort of a nothing, backwater, barren, toxic planet. And she was having a great time, and everything was really kind of going well until she somehow was framed for the total destruction of the terraforming equipment that was supposed to completely change the face of this planet and is instead a heap of rubble. Ostensibly, the person who framed her for this was her will they won't they boyfriend, and we have no idea where he is or if he did things on purpose or anything. We just don't know. He vanished in a puff of smoke. Vesper fled in a smuggler's cargo ship. She had to bring the last bit of cargo that was on the ship to a place called Janus, and once she got it to some guy named Arvis, her oath is fulfilled, the ship is hers, she can go anywhere she wants, she can try and find Quan, she can try and start life over and pretend this never happened, whatever she wants to do. On the way to Janus, a rift in space, a wormhole, opened up, spat out a bunch of rubble and also a derelict rifter ship, and she went to go scavenge it, found some good stuff, including a AI navigation, well, it wasn't a navigation module, it was more of a diagnostics module, but we do the best with what we got, right? And then found a person, saved Astrid's life, and just as we're getting to Janus, we're so close, we're almost there. We've been playing this game for like months now, and we're almost at the first stop. And it turns out Astrid was a space pirate trying to, betray us to take the ship, maybe, I guess. There was a 2-session fight in which we almost died, got pretty injured, but it turned out okay. And now Astrid is unconscious and locked. I don't remember where I said on the ship she was locked. Somewhere she can't get to anything fun or interesting, I'm sure. And we have a choice at this moment. We are at the gates of Janus, so to speak, and we need to get in. We need to talk to Arvis. But I don't think that Vesper really thought this far ahead. I think that she was kind of hoping that she would be able to take the packages and be like, "Hi, I'm your Instacart delivery spaceship driver, and here's your packages. Don't mind me. Okay, have a nice day. Bye." But you know, now there's like a space pirate on the ship, so this is kind of going to be a problem, because Vesper, I mean, she's not a murderer. People think she is right now, but she's not. So she doesn't want to just kill Astrid. Like, she's not just going to space her. But anywhere she tries to go, like, to get into Janus, now she's got to deal with the fact that there's, like, a murderous space pirate with her. And she's also wanted. So how are we going to navigate this? What are we going to do to try and get on this ship? And this is going to be another kind of new thing as far as the game goes, because up until meeting Astrid, everything had been by herself, and the moves were questing moves to get towards a goal. And then when we met Astrid, it was fight moves, like there was combat. But now we're gonna have to maybe do like some social NPC interaction, and I have never done that. Well, this game is my first solo game, so I've never done that in this, where I'm like making stuff up and then rolling moves and I'm being multiple people at once. So we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Face shifter with a new name, like Total Recall. You know what? That would probably be the easiest thing to do, but I don't think that our engineer has those capabilities at the moment. But, like, wouldn't it be nice? But also kind of nice that doesn't exist in this universe, because then Astrid would have been a serious problem and Vesper would probably already be dead. Yes, that is my shadow husband in chat. Say hello again, chat, I guess, to my shadow husband. Anyway, so let's just take a second. Usually sessions begin with like a little vignette, and we have a couple characters that we could do vignettes with and a couple questions that do need to be answered. So I am going to ask my are we calling you shadow husband? My lovely assistant. What kind of questions do we still have on our list of unanswered questions? So Vesper's like the main thing that we're going to get to, but as far as like a vignette to begin with, who else, where else, what else do we need to flesh out a little bit more that we can like do a short stint? One thing that I'm not particularly clear on, at least, is Bliss. We know kind of who she works for, and we know that she is an agent. She's very capable and she's good at her job. We know those things. But I don't entirely know what it is that the Broken Circle is trying to accomplish in general. And I don't know what it is, the kind of It's a good thing I don't stream, because that would involve speak English words, and I don't do those. Oh, hey, Brett's here. Hi, guys. So we don't really know what's up with that, right? Like, we don't know what kind of mission she usually goes on. Is tracking Vesper? Is she tracking Vesper? We don't know. Hint, I kind of know that, but that's spoilers for you. What kind of missions is she usually on, and what's kind of the normal thing that she does for the past couple years that she's been an operative? So I'm thinking we can try and... I actually don't even know what we would use to find that out. So we can just rummage through some oracles and see what we find, right? I think Let's see, let's try this. Nope, it's wrong. We have the wrong thing. Well, okay, here, we'll go back. We'll just be Bliss for a little bit. I have 2 overlays, one with Vesper and one with Bliss, but this one with Bliss is still showing the overlay that has Vesper's face on it. Literally unplayable. You can't win them all, I guess. Anyway, whatever. We're Bliss for the moment. Here are some moves. Oh, wait. Begin a session starts with, like, a problem, right? Let's roll on the begin a session thing. Like, why not? Let's just... If it's not helpful, I'll ignore it. Flashback reveals an aspect of your background or nature. Well, isn't that literally exactly what I just said? That I was like, let's talk about Bliss's background. Okay. Save. So, what do we have already written down about... I wish that I could collapse these. I can't. I can only collapse the whole faction. I wish I could collapse just each one to just the name, but I cannot. Shattered circle. It should be the broken circle. Because I started calling it the broken circle halfway through because I was very tired. Extremely tired. Okay, so what do we have? We have in what we rolled when we made the broken circle, right, is recover life support equipment from Vesper, potentially, overcome a death sentence, and then relationships, we don't know. So they're supplied with resources by the Rifters, they have leverage over someone, their quirks are work or environment causes mutation, and the rumors are overdependence on a failing or vulnerable technology. So those are sort of what the oracles came up with, and kind of how we decided this was that the Broken Circle are made up of previous, like, past rifters who were too close to that anomalous rift energy and ended up with rift syndrome, which is like radiation and cancer and mutation and bad weird stuff, and it's terminal and it's not great. So Bliss, you can even see on her art there, she has like a little Omni, and it like regulates the air around her mouth and stuff, so it's like the correct thing she needs so she doesn't die. So that's how we kind of pulled all of that together, is the overcome a death sentence thing is they're like trying to find specifically, or trying to research new technology or possibly update the technology that they currently have in order for them to be able to like prolong this or cure rift syndrome. Like right now the Omnis are not a full option, not a full option. They don't do everything that people with rift sickness need all the time in such a way that they could just like continue living their lives and it's just a disability aid, not a problem. It's a short-term patch and it doesn't help fix all the problems that she has. So they're trying to like, or all the problems that anybody in the Broken Circle has really. So they're trying to beef that up. So I think they're after technology. They're supplied with resources by the Rifters because obviously anybody who could end up like this is very interested in having a cure. Environment causes mutations. That kind of fits in exactly what we said. And the failing or vulnerable technology is the Omnis. So this bit about holding leverage over someone, I don't understand. And also, so are they just like... Are we just talking about, like, technology thieves? Is that what's happening here? Like, maybe there's a division of the Broken Circle that is doing their own tech research, but they're also, like, infiltrating corporations and doing regular espionage and corporate espionage in order to, like, steal everybody's research? Maybe they're trying to learn how to control anomalous radiation. Trying to learn how to control it would be really helpful. The other thing that I can think of is trying to predict it. Like if you can somehow, if there's something like a weather pattern sort of situation that you can use to predict where a rift is going to open, then you can make sure that you're far enough away to not get hit with those waves, but also make sure that if one's going to open somewhere that you actually, like, catch it when it opens, right? Like, so you don't, like, miss one or whatever. But I mean, probably both of those, right? Because there are going to be times, because wormholes are things that you can't control, there are going to be times that a wormhole is going to open up next to a planet, right? Like a space station, you can probably get it to move with enough warning. A ship, you can get it out of the way, obviously, with enough warning. A planet, not really. So saying like, okay, there are going to be some times that we just can't help it, that people are going to be affected by this, but we still need some sort of cure. So I like the idea that they're researching how to control anomalous radiation, but I feel like they're also trying to, like, predict it. Something meteorology, something. Wormholes pull in or blow out. So they kind of do a little bit of both, because they pull from one direction and then push from the other. It just kind of, you don't really get to decide which one is which, but the energy blast when they first appear is, like, outward in all directions. Think like a supernova, I guess. It's not that big as a supernova would be, but that same kind of, like, visual concept, I guess. I don't need to worry about that text. Okay. So those things. Let me get my mind around this here for a second. So that being the case, if this is what, oh, hey Kevin, what about a pretty average nova? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. This is like D+ nova is probably the size and scale that we're talking about here. You know, academic probation nova. Anyway, so what kind of missions does Bliss usually go on? I'm upset by these unattainable nova standards. Well, Kevin, you're not a nova to begin with, so just keep dreaming, dude. Yeah, man, everybody's here. We're just having a time. What? Let's see. We have all these oracles over here on the side. Shout out if anything makes sense to you, because I don't know what I'm looking for here. Let's see. Character, role, goal. No. We know what her in general it is. I'm looking for something, like, specific. Like, maybe here, how about this? Let me simplify. What was the first mission that she went on as a new agent in the Broken Circle? What was the first thing they sent her to do? We'll figure out if she actually managed it or whatever happened later. But just, this is the vignette, is she's getting her first assignment. Let's start there. I never remember what these are. I think these are like fighting moves, the action. Breach. Oh, no, it's just, these are just verbs. Okay, well, heck it, let's see. Revenge. Lush? Remains. Okay, so these 4 words, which we can ignore any of them if we want to, but these 4 words are the words that we're going to piece together something about Bliss's first mission. And what I am going to say is Bliss was originally on the main, call it like the capital, we'll say. Like if space was the United States, then she was on the space station of Washington, D.C. It's called Olympus. So she was originally, like, kind of stationed there. So I'm going to say her first mission was probably nearby Olympus. They probably wouldn't start her off going, like, completely across the galaxy, right? So let's go ahead and roll up. Well, here's what a smart person would do. A smart person would go to our sector over here. Oh, I renamed this sector, by the way. This is called Cygnus Breach. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to make a new sector. Bitter Reach. No, that one is a dumb name. Anyway, we'll figure that part out later. I don't care about that. The point is, we're gonna roll up a planet or a something in a new sector rather than the Cygnus Breach sector, so that I don't lose my mind getting everything confused. That's what we're gonna do, because that's what a smart person would do. Space, sector name, Essus Desolation. I like Essus, that's fun, but Desolation doesn't really fit with what I'm going with. It's fine. Stellar object, a young star incubating in a molecular cloud? What does that mean? I don't even know what a molecular cloud is. Maybe this means there's like more than, oh hey, Scott's here, hi. Scott, say hello to literally everybody. The gang is all here. We're having a great time. We are trying to figure out what Bliss's first mission as an operative was, and the words that I rolled are ridiculous. We got breach, revenge, lush, and remains. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. So we're trying to put together a sector here. I'm thinking this young star thing must mean that there's probably more than one star in this sector. Like the Star Wars 2 setting suns at the same time. That just feels like what it is to me. Okay, the peril here is a stellar a rift. A freaking rift. Emits hazardous energies. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Doubtful that there is currently a rift. Probably there's more than one bridge here, which are the anchored rifts, because this is the center of everything. So of course it's going to give me exactly what would fit, obviously. Opportunity. Vehicle or equipment performs beyond expectations. Okay, so maybe whatever is in this, I don't know, maybe molecular cloud, we can say like there's some sort of like electromagnetism going on, and it like kind of, I don't know, we'll figure it out. It doesn't matter. Anyway, what's a sighting? Dense nebula cloud. Oh, that's pretty. That would be nice for the art. Solar winds. I like solar winds. Yes. Solar winds is great. Scott, Overwilliam is my husband. Say hello. He's been helping me behind the scenes. I'm gonna roll another sector name though. I like the S's part, but not the desolation. A lot of these are like pyre and whatever. I'm not going to use Rift. Rift would be too on the nose for our... Eben is a name that we use for the thing. S's Pass sounds dumb. Abyss. Sundered Abyss. I'm not wearing enough eyeshadow to use Sundered Abyss. Breach we already used. Reach would match. Circlet. That's kind of fun. We might... Later. We'll deal with it later, okay? That's not the point. Don't let me get distracted. We need some things in here. What did we go with? Lush. Okay, so it's gonna... Let's have a planet. Let's do a planet. Janus isn't gonna be a planet. Let's make a planet. Let's just as a treat. In the terminus, and then there is one planet type that's Jungle Baby. Let's get it. Let's get it going. Roll first look. A rugged planet scarred by eons of destructive asteroid impacts. We're going to go ahead and say no, because that is the same description that we rolled for Eos, which means it would not be as fun. So, get rid of it. Can I roll it again? Put it in there for now. Why is the atmosphere always toxic? Lush remains. Oh no. What else do we got? Thin atmosphere. That could be fun. Constant asteroid strikes. What else we got? Barren plains. Come on, why is everything barren? Let's just... Oh, because it changed it to rocky. If I do this, does it... Yes, it does. Okay. That was my bad. That's why Everything was bad. I thought it stayed with jungle, but it does not. Clear. Thank you. Default description text. But there's no... Help! There's no description! Okay, whatever. It's fine. We're not going to be toxic. Marginal. Settlements in conflict. There's an unbroken canopy you can see from space. I love that. Planet side feature. Extensive exposed root systems. It's overrun with life. That's kind of fun. Peril. Disturbing remains. Or evidence of death. We are on a good track at the moment. Planet side opportunity. Opening to distract, escape, or avoid foes. What does that mean? I don't know. Flora, I don't know how I feel about the name Flora. Damu. We've already got Daruda. Isn't Damu from Star Wars? That feels very Star Wars to me. Tangle. Kishar. Yeah, okay. We're going to go with Kishar. We're going to do it. We're going to save it right here. And then that should be saved. So now if I click here, I can put location and... Oh, I did it wrong. Dang it. I did this wrong last time too. So oh my gosh, it goes all the way down to the bottom. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. No. Okay, now I think I should be able to save it. Nope, everything's broken and horrible and wrong. Okay, whatever. Whatever, man. We can put all this in later, I guess. I'm just going to be upset about it that I did this all wrong. Anyway. Settlements in conflict. Disturbing remains or evidence of death. Okay. So those kind of feel related to me. Does evidence of death just mean like this conflict is like physical, like they are at war with each other and have been for long enough that you can like tell? That's kind of what it seems like. Okay, so it should be, if I'm doing things correctly, planet side, sector, this one, save to. Okay, so now, haha, if I roll this up, Kepler, there's tens of thousands of people with industrial architecture. Oh, this is going to be so solar punk. Some of these names, like, these are... Sagan. Yes, there we go. Perfect. Not my thing. Projects. What kind of projects we got? Defense. Secrecy. And their authority is none or lawless. Yeah, alright, sure, that makes sense. Okay, so now we want to save it to here. Can we make a punk world? No. You're just not allowed. I just say no. Solar punk only. Anyway, so the other settlement that's going to be all mixed up here is Brink. There's dozens of people with significant structural damage, so these guys are probably the ones that are losing. Manufacturing and mining. Oh, so they got attacked for their resources. What's the authority here? Oppressive. Oh no. Oh, that makes me not feel as bad that they got attacked for their resources. Alright, well, I mean, it seems like then, the obvious thing to me, anybody else chime in here, ancient dead civilization. Okay, so here's the thing about ancient dead civilizations, is that that does exist in Beta Proxima, and we know this. Anybody in the Random Encounters Guild server knows this because Daruda Cycle happens in this universe. And in Daruda Cycle, which this really isn't spoilers because it's like the premise that the first episode happens in, is that, adjusted to fit in the universe properly, Rift energy hits Daruda and all of the word is not AI. It's almost robot, but like fancy robot. What is the word? Android. Thank you. Fancy robot. Get turned into banshees, which are basically screaming, mindless as much as robotics are ever had a mind, but screaming and violent zombies of their former selves, basically. But the androids on Daruda none of them were like human shaped. They were all kind of like panther. They were like zombie cat robots, basically. What are you talking about, Scott? You had a great time. Don't even lie. You love that game. I specifically told you that you love that game, okay? Anyway, so that all is kind of a thing connected to an ancient civilization that had like some sort of buried underground like bunker or something that they found on the planet and then went into, and then just utter nonsense happened up in there. But the point is, at least on the outskirts of this galaxy, some of those planets did have like life that existed before humanity got there. So it is possible. It is possible. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so it seems to me that probably what happened here, because we have a small, oppressive manufacturing and mining situation, that probably these guys stole some of the other guys and then forced them into, like, slavery to mines, because mining sucks and nobody wants to do it. Why would you want to do it? Especially on a planet with an unbroken canopy overrun with like an extensive exposed root system. That means you're not even mining all the way through dirt. You're mining through like plants that grow so fast they can grow behind you. Which it doesn't say that, but I'm saying that because that's cool. So yeah, nobody wants to do that. So why not steal other people and make other people do it? And then the other people obviously don't like that, so they're trying to kill off these miners. And that's the extensive death here. Is at first I thought like, oh, it's because one is attacking the other. No, it's because this oppressive mining authority is just totally letting a bunch of people die in the mines. Rude. Okay, so all of that is just, we can't have that. So here's what we need. Breach, Revenge, Lush, Remains. Okay. Breach sounds to me like getting into the camp, right? The mining camp. Revenge for the people? Like maybe on behalf of, what did I say the first settlement's name was? Apatia was what it came up with. And then Brink is the... Names are all subject to change. I am not always completely in love with the names in the oracles, but we do the best with what we got in the moment, at least, right? Possible she's looking for something that some of the miners found, but also possible that the people that live there have something that she wants or found something that she wants, and in exchange for it she needs to go get their people back, or maybe get like at least their bodies back for like proper cultural, we'll just go with burial for the sake of ease, something like that, right? Maybe. They just made the kids go there. Kids yearn for the mine. I am not going to do that. I'm not going to have child labor, because I don't want to play a game about child labor. I don't want to roleplay child labor. I don't want to write about child labor. I just don't. Busted into an ancient jungle pharaoh's sarcophagus. Look, it could happen, okay? They've got like weird ancient tech, right? So maybe one of those settlements that I don't remember what they're called. A vault? That's what it was, I think. Yeah, one of the vaults from, like, the precursor people, aliens that lived here before, is under the root system on this planet. Yeah, okay. So she goes in by herself, thinking that maybe this would be easy. Maybe she didn't think it would be easy. But probably nobody suspected that she was going to be sent to, like, finish off what amounts to a small war on her own. So there you go. That's Bliss' first mission. Oh, Pumpkin. That's kind of a big one. Tim. I can't name all the settlements, Tim. That's the problem. Let me go ahead and make sure that this is in there, though. Oh, am I only allowed to have one settlement on each thing? No, okay, both of them. Oh, okay. I thought it deleted it. I'm good. Everything's good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So we'll do that, and then here we'll say can be Olympus, and we'll just put it in there. A settlement. Add. Go here. Does it move my little ship? I think it does. And this settlement is... How do you spell Olympus? I don't know. Like that, maybe? It is a deep space station. Population butt ton. Okay, good enough for now. We don't care about anything else. Okay. Now, let's go back to where we're actually going here. So our ship, Eye of the Void, oh, no, Eye of the Void's not our ship. We are actually here at Janus, but I accidentally moved us. Go here. There we go. Now the Eclipse is at Janus. What tool or site are you using for the development stuff? Oh, okay, so this is Stargazer. It is fan-made. It's like one guy who worked very hard, and we all love him very much. The Ironsworn version is called Iron Journal. It says it up at the top, but I think that that's cropped out right now. So yeah, Stargazer is the one that I use. There's also one called Pocket Forge. This one I just vibed with this one a little bit better. So that's all that. Did any of that go into the journal? We don't need this one open. No, it did not. Okay, so... There we go. That's my one sentence that we're putting in here, and now we are moving back to Vesper. Doesn't it look so nice? Yeah, I really like it. Pocket Forged is also great, and you can actually do a little bit of customization as far as having, like, cover art and, like, changing the color of things in Pocket Forged, but I just really like how this is set up as far as, like, having your character and all these things going on, and like the oracles and everything on the side just kind of felt like it worked better for me, so that's just where we are. Let's go back to Vesper. Ta-da! It was pretty much the same, except this is her full art. If you didn't see that before, this is what Vesper looks like. I want her bag. I love it so much. Okay, so let's get smart for a second here. Journal sector. What information do we know that we have? Okay, so Janus, we know, is a tanker. Old ship. This is one of the original ships that, like, humans came to this galaxy in. So this thing is maybe not falling apart, but probably a little bit of a ship of Theseus situation. Just to keep it going, because it's been, like, thousands of years. So what we figured out last time, which I'm a little bit bleary on because I keep doing this show even when I'm absolutely exhausted, and then I can't think while I'm doing it, but that's fine. I guess that's your problem and not mine. It doesn't bother me if I'm not entertaining, right? Like, that's all y'all. But Kevin last time mentioned something about, like, bilges, I think? Yeah, that's what we have down here, bilges. And the first thing that comes to mind for me is the, when you first meet the Solarian Doctor in Mass Effect, which I promised this wouldn't be exactly like Mass Effect, but it's going to be a little bit like Mass Effect as a treat. You go to Omega, and there's, like, a sickness that's only affecting certain races and doesn't seem to affect humans, if I'm remembering correctly, but he's in there, like, in the trenches trying to come up with a cure right then. So that's kind of what this reminds me of. We don't have aliens in this universe, so it's all people, but I think what we talked about was that it's only affecting a certain group of people because those people have been, like, cut off and quarantined from the rest of everybody else on the ship, rather than anyone helping them, which is absolutely ridiculous. Kevin, you're the biggest troll I've ever met in my life. Let's see. Arvis Sato, just to catch up on him again, his call sign is static. I don't know that we know his call sign. Zari, I did ask you to be here because you come up with fun things, but you're also a troll. Both of those things are true at the same time. I don't know that Vesper even knows that his call sign is static because Zari didn't call him static. Zari called him Arvis. His goal is randomly rolled acquire fear, build a relationship, but I wasn't really sure what those actually mean. I don't know what acquire fear means. He's large and alluring. That's what we know about this guy. He should probably have a role, right? I mean, oh, wasn't there, like, something to happen with this? Brief vignette. All players take +1 momentum. Oh, yeah. That's what I was supposed to do. Momentum! We need it. We're at 8. Excellent. Much like myself. Well, you are alluring. And also completely distracting. What was I just doing? What was I looking for? Oh, I was gonna see if we could get Arvis a role. If nothing makes sense, then I'm not gonna worry about it, but... Agent? Not cultist. I wish I could take some of these out. Like, I wish I could kind of curate the list that I have, but this doesn't work like that unless I make my own whole custom things, which I could, but... Maybe fear is a special substance that helps protect against some common bad thing in the universe, like it helps keep the modified robots at bay temporarily, hence fear. Oh, so it's like... like bug spray? Or like a drug or something. Bot spray. Perfect. Bot spray. Yes. Okay. I love that. So that just opens a whole nother question though, because here's the thing is that, as we said, they're not on a planet. They don't have... Where is Janus? Here we go. Like, it's a deep space tanker ship. Maybe it works on some vibrational frequency that messes with the tech. I mean, heck it. Like, what if they... what if I can't get away from Mass Effect to save my life? What if they, procured some banshees for testing. And it's not like something that the council maybe knows about. But I get the feeling that this particular settlement is a little bit like the authority kind of is really only interested in itself and maybe some form of like weird nobility and doesn't really care about what's happening with anybody else around, and it's a little bit lawless as long as you don't piss off. Like, as long as you don't get in their way, they kind of like don't want to see you and really don't care about you. So there's probably a lot of like crime and stuff, right? Like, that would be fun, I think. Just a little crime. So maybe somebody, this is like the equivalent of a Cayman Island situation for your bank account, right? So you don't have to pay taxes. So there's some like shady company or possibly some sort of not cult, not mafia gang. I don't know. Assemblage of people who are interested in probably money, maybe power, right? Who are doing like testing or whatever, like really probably illegal and probably really dangerous and not great to have around people, kind of testing on these banshees so that they can like make money selling the bot spray, fear. That could be fun. So maybe the sickness, or what the life support stuff is for, isn't for like a bilge thing after all. Maybe it's actually related to like if humans are, insert, verb here, injected with or inhale or whatever, this fear, that it's like really not great for you because it's not made for humans. Maybe there's like mutative properties. Nanomachines. I love a good, okay, yeah. Nanobots. Everybody loves nanobots. I love nanobots. I imagine, since cybernetics are like fine in this universe, probably if you as a person have cybernetics, like if you've got like a mechanical arm or whatever, that probably affects you differently somehow than if you didn't. I don't know how that it would be. Maybe those people affected had some sort of genetic modification. So genetic mods are illegal. We did roll that at the beginning. But if you're on a place like Janus, it being illegal doesn't necessarily mean anything. So maybe this would be the place that would be like a serious problem, where it wouldn't necessarily be a problem somewhere else. But that also makes sense because, like, what are you going to do? Call for help and then admit that you're doing illegal things? No? So you have to, like, deal with your problems however you can under the radar without, like, galactic Olympian feds coming to knock on your door. That seems true to me. That checks out. Okay. So what we know that there is life support equipment in the crates that Vesper is carrying. We don't know if there's anything else smuggled in the crates. We just know that there's life support equipment in there. And Vesper, being a life support engineer, knows about how that works. She probably is the one who, like, designed and fabricated a lot of this stuff custom for the planet that they were on. So it's kind of fun that she's the one delivering it, because she actually knows what to do with this stuff. But it's possible that that's not the only thing that's in the crates. There might be, like, if there's data or something in there, she really wouldn't know. So we still have options, right? We still have some stuff, but these are big crates of, like, basically medical equipment. It is not a little flash drive that you can just put in your pocket and walk around. So what we need to do is find out how we're getting on Janus without people turning us in because she's a wanted criminal. Deal somehow with the fact that Astrid is still on the ship and we need to not be associated with her, but we need to get her off the ship, and she also needs to not run her mouth about the fact that Vesper is who she is, because that would get us in trouble. So she could kind of blackmail us, and that's a little bit of a problem. And we need to find Arvis and lay low. And technically speaking, we don't need to help fix this problem. Technically, the oath that we made is just get the crates to Arvis. Technically, once we do that, the oath is fulfilled. However, Vesper is a life support engineer, and I really highly super doubt that a highly qualified and skilled life support engineer is going to drop off her own designs for life support equipment and then just ask no questions and walk away. I just don't really feel like that would happen. I feel like she would at least want to know what they're doing with it and then probably offer to help, even just so that it's used correctly, because if you made something, like you designed it, you fabricated it specifically, like this is your job, your life's work, and then someone takes it and starts pressing the wrong buttons, you're going to come in and be like, nope, give me that, you're doing it wrong. Well, maybe you wouldn't, but Vesper would. So I really doubt that we're not going to stay and help at least a little bit. I feel like probably we will, but getting in there is kind of the first bit. And I'm not sure how I want that. What makes the most sense? And we are definitely kind of coming up on the end of time here, but at least what I want to do is figure out how we're trying to approach this, because she could just, open a door and come in on one of the, what are they called, like bridges or whatever, and be like, yes, hello, I am here, where is your space McDonald's? Don't mind anything on the ship, just don't touch it, I'll be back later. But then what are we going to do with Astrid? I don't know. So I'm just going to kind of like look through what our moves are here. Check your gear might be one. We might need to end up trying to make something that would like help us somehow. I don't know what it would be, but that is a potential situation there. We could compel Astrid in sort of a, look, I got dirt on you and you got dirt on me. If we go our separate ways and just say we never met, no harm done, we'll never see each other again, it's a big galaxy, don't say hi to your mom for me, the end. I don't know if it would work that way, but it seems like the sort of thing that Vesper might try, because she's not, she doesn't want to fight, she doesn't want to hurt her. But if you try and like, what, call the police, then she's just going to be like, oh yeah, she's a wanted criminal too. So that might, we might try and strike a deal. That one sounds like it might work for me. Test your relationship? Conflict, betrayal, or circumstance, roll plus heart. If you share a bond, add +1. I don't think so. They've only known each other for a couple days. It's not really like a connection. So I don't think it's that one. Confront chaos. Oh my gosh. These ones are all fighting moves. These ones are all when you fail. These ones are like break moves, which you can't do yet. These are if you die. These are at the end. Pay the prices if you fail. Why are these down here? Why is secure an advantage down here? I guess I don't know what a scene challenge is. I totally saved your life, you owe me. Yeah, let's just do that. All right, so we're gonna make one roll this session, but you know what? It's going to probably be an interesting one, because if she, let's talk about options here. If she says, yes, that's great, and she means it, then maybe we're good to go, but it's possible she shows up later, and that's like a problem. Or she like totally sells us out for money or whatever. Like, this is a loose thread if she says yes and is honest for now. If she says yes and she's a liar, we're probably completely screwed, and she's lied to us before, so we have no reason to trust her except that Vesper just would, because she doesn't think to ask if people are lying. And then what if she just straight up says no? I don't know. So, well, let's find out. Okay, compel. When you try to persuade someone or make them an offer, envision your approach. If you charm, pacify, encourage, or barter, if you threaten or incite, if you lie or swindle. I don't know that threatening is the way we would go, so it feels like heart, right? Like this might count as a barter of like, hey, I didn't kill you when I had the chance. I'm giving you the option of just walking away. We can both walk away. That sounds a little bit pacify, a little bit barter to me. Like let's do this. We're going to roll heart. We're going to compel. We're going to roll heart here. Get our starship, workshop, gearhead. I might update this one so we have something else, by the way. The more I learn about Vesper, the more this one doesn't fit, even though it's what we rolled at first. We'll see when we get there. Anyway, none of these are what we're talking about right now. We only have one in heart. Okay, well, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. And what we gotta do is try it. So let's go. Heart. Roll the thing. Roll. So here's the thing, though, is that we have 8 momentum, and this is a 4 and a 5. So if we burn momentum, it is now a strong hit. And I've been saving up momentum for quite a bit. So I think now is the time. Because 1, it makes it a little bit juicy that, you know, Astrid's like out there. But 2, I'm done with being at the door. I just want to be inside already. So I'm so happy that this works. And we can just walk out the door. Bearing in mind that it works, like, for now. Like, this does not necessarily mean that Astrid is our friend. It doesn't mean she's going to take our secret to her grave. But at least for a while, at least while both of us are on the station at the same time at this moment, we're a little bit neutral. Make Astrid swear an oath. Interesting. On a strong hit, they'll do what you want or agree to your conditions. What would the oath be, though? Like, is it game mechanics wise, and swearing a vow is like you're supposed to do something and then there's like a track for it? That we don't necessarily need to like fit into the mechanics of it, but as far as like making a promise, making an oath, taking an oath, what is it that she is vowing to do? Like, to not rat us out, reveal who we are, or not harm us, or like, I don't really know how we would word that, but that does feel like that feels like a really good idea. To be like, I promise to you, I, Vesper, promise to you, Astrid, even though we found out her name isn't Astrid, but like you just pointing. Mutual non-screwing over. Basically, yes. I kind of love that idea. So she agrees to what we want and our conditions. Does that mean that she automatically also agrees to the oath part of it? I feel like that would be in her best interest too, right? And then take +1 momentum. Okay, so first of all, we're at 3 momentum instead of 2, which is great. So put that in the journal here. She agrees to the oath, I think we're gonna say. Now, that being said, this is probably something that, like, you have to be really careful about the wording with, and I'm starting to get tired, so I'm not going to worry about the specific wording of it right now. But it might be, especially because Vesper isn't used to this kind of thing, that the wording isn't, like, in perpetuity. It's not, like, long-term. She might say something like, and it would probably be an accident on her part, right? But it might be something like, while we're on Janus, we won't hurt each other. So that's something that I'll have to think about, and we might roll for it. There's some oracles that are basically like the coin flip, like is it likely, is it unlikely, or whatever. So we can kind of do that next time. But I'm holding it loosely. That might still be an option on the table, but at least for now, we end the session. Finally, after months, we end the session on Janus. The doors open, we walk in. It is a cesspool up in here, a hive of scum and villainy. Probably the equivalent of like a space truck stop with like, if anybody has driven through the Midwest, all the billboards are just for like sex shops and Mormons and burgers. Probably don't have the Mormons because religion doesn't exist in this universe, but like that sort of thing, right? Like it's like a truck stop and junk and horrible. Great. Perfect. This is a great, yes, at the same time. Whether you like it or not at the same time. I think this is going to be fun. I think this will be a horrible experience for Vesper. I think that she's never had anything like... No, there's no Space Mormons. There's no Mormons. I was just talking about the billboards through the Midwest. But I think she's going to hate it here. I think she's never in her life been in a place that is this, like, dirty or uncomfortable or had this level of, like, lack of resources. She hasn't seen, like, poverty like this. There's probably, like, drug addicts here, and she's never had to deal with any of that. Like, this is probably going to be horrible for her, and I'm very excited to see what happens and where the heck we're going to find Arvis and what any of that means. I think that we did great. Pat yourselves on the back, everybody. Sci-fi would totally have magic underwear. It's not magic underwear, it's nanobots, okay? When it's sci-fi, it's nanobots. Or holograms. It could be hollow underwear. That makes it fancy. I don't know what that means. Kekwa? Oh, okay. Midwestern Space Mormons. It's a real thing. It is, but not in my game. In the meantime, wear real underwear, not hollow underwear, and also wash your hands, you filthy animals. Yeah, that's that. We did it! We're back! We're here!